Hey, you guys remember Henry Kissinger? Yeah, Henry Kissinger. Remember that guy?
I
Some of you may
doubt
not
it.
know who that guy is. He was a interesting, infamous political figure in the late 60s and early 70s. Particularly because he was a I mean, he wore a few different hats, but more specifically, he was a American diplomat. He was also a political scientist, geopolitical consultant, and a politician that served under Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford as a U.S. Secretary of State and National Security Advisor.
Yeah, so like once you hear that Nixon reference, that
Yeah, you kind of
I already know
kind of
where this
already know
is going.
where we're heading, right?
Yeah.
And this was typically between 1969 and 1977. Well, not typically, but this was between 1969 and 1977. Henry Kissinger operating in that capacity. And anyone that knows about that time period knows that what war was going on within that time period? Ding,
Vietnam,
ding,
man.
ding, Vietnam. Right. So he had his hands in quite a few different things in that time period. So, bro, did
That
you want to
Viet,
kind of talk
you know
about
what?
that a little
You
bit?
know what's kind of wild about that
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam joint is that
Mm-hmm.
I mean we had people protesting it at the time,
Oh yeah,
saying
absolutely.
like, "Yo, this is you know,
It's not a war.
it's not our war. What we doing over there? What we
Yeah. Yeah.
and but like you got people today that be rocking that like these old heads be rocking that
Yeah. Okay.
Vietnam ball
Vietnam War.
cap
Yeah.
like I mean I get it. You served and you like proud of you that you served the country, but like you're
Mhm.
like I'm proud that I served even in this completely flawed campaign. And you point at your hat like rocking that Vietnam joint.
I have a question for you, and I'm curious to know what you're gonna say about this. Do you feel do you feel the same way about Iraqi veterans, Afghanistan like? Do you feel the same way about?
I didn't say I felt any kind of way.
No, I'm just you're
I'm
and what you're
saying
describing now. Is it similar to how? Okay, what are you? Well, I know you explained that, but like, do you
so
kind of see that along the same line, or within the same from the same vein?
I don't think anybody can say it's like too soon maybe to make a
Okay,
complete guess a
okay.
judgment on that. Okay, so like okay, so it's like this. When you sign up to serve, yeah, you serve wherever you are. So you're proud, you still serve, they send you, right? You're a grunt, you know what I mean? You're a soldier.
Yeah,
Whatever. So
yeah,
that you go where they send you. And
yeah.
you go do that work right that day. Now if you find yourself in a situation where but you see, you don't always have it's kind of hard to judge these people in real time because they don't have the full information. You're very limited
Yeah,
information
of
you have.
course, of course.
So that's why you kind of trust your chain of command and like
Yeah, you
they
have an
point you in a
MOS, and you
good
just gotta just report for duty.
right.
It is what it is. Yeah.
And so um but in hindsight, when there's evaluation have been done
Mm-hmm.
about what this thing was about, you know, I know there are Vietnam soldiers that regret serving in Vietnam.
Oh, absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
even themselves they regret serving in
Yeah.
Vietnam. So it's not like we're so nuanced right now where we don't know that was an unjustified war and we like killed a bunch of people, civilians alike, and like and that had nothing to like we had no business doing that,
And a
right?
lot of
And we
American
carried
deaths
on for a long
too.
time, right? Like a
Yeah.
lot of American deaths too.
Yeah.
Um, so could that be said of going to Iraq? Like
Yeah.
it was a war of choice,
Yeah.
really, but was it the 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 world power, the highest world power trying to shape the world
Yes.
into their what they think would be a better fit
Yeah.
in this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah, we've done that forever in memoriam.
Mhm.
um I don't know, it's still a little squishy. So
Yeah.
I if somebody but I don't see a lot of people like I don't see a lot of people rocking. Do I see a lot of people rocking like Iraqi freedom
I've seen
hats
quite yeah, I've
and
seen
like
quite a few, man, like
t-shirts?
that. Yeah, I've seen quite a few actually. Well, because I
Maybe maybe it's more
because of
to
the spaces I
signify the
was in.
time. Maybe it's more to signify the time that you served,
Okay.
more for specifically not without giving a message of you standing behind the operation.
Hmm.
Like Are you supportive that that operation happened? So I don't know. I think it could still be a little squishy, but I
Mm,
think Vietnam
mm,
now is like, bro, you can still rock a Navy thing or a Marine thing when you're old. You know what I mean? Say
mm.
the ship that you served on or something like that. You
Oh,
know,
so you're saying
or
it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty much too soon because we still kind of
it
like
might be too soon.
dissecting everything that occurred.
Yeah,
I understand. Okay.
yeah. To say is that something that somebody should regret.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, you know, if you maybe served next to someone and they died, and
Mm,
you know, there's people that have second chance. Okay, some people regret some of their service. You know, some things they were called to do. But
mm.
anyway, freaking Kissinger, right? Is I want to kind of use this whole thing about him dying and kind of how you just reported a little background there on, you know, a little bit of his past and history where we could put him in context of historical events and how the U.S. has operated in the world.
Yeah.
Um,
Largely based on his influence at the time.
a bit based on his,
Mm,
but like the
yeah.
way that the media is reporting this joint,
Oh yeah,
I,
yeah. That's kind of crazy.
it's kind of
I
crazy.
saw
It's
it. I
kind of
was like,
like I'm kind of like, yo,
mm.
there's like they would say stuff like, oh, Henry Kissinger, who had a complicated history, has died at the age of 100. Complicated.
They
They'll
report him
have
as
had
someone who's infamous, not necessarily someone who was
infamous or
like
controversial.
a
Like,
negative
bro, this
influence. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
So the media is not giving you a correct or but they the thing is they know because the
Yeah.
people that they fuck with, the people that they like, they give them glowing reviews. Right?
Mm,
Read about what they say about is it which Jimmy Carter's wife just died. So Rosalind Carter, she just died.
mm-hmm.
Um and this was November 19th, she passed. And everything you read about her, the headlines are indisputable. They're like, you know, humanitarian, lovely woman, you know what I mean? You know, she's gonna have a place amongst the angels, all like really glowing stuff. Everything about the work that she did when she was like the second was it a steel magnolia. She was tough, but she was a flower, she was still delicate and all, right? Like pretty much the chief executive you know, next to the president, like pretty
Mm-hmm.
much helped them and sat in like the situation room and sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the reviews for her and like the headlines about her was all going, but for him they write complicated, you know, kind of. And so they're like, you know, they know something, but they freaking still kind of like whitewash a little bit of the history he has here. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rolling Stone ain't fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
Their headline is Henry Kissinger war criminal. I even saw a headline that said, "Oh, the dating life of Henry Kissinger."
That's crazy, bro.
Let me go back. Okay, Rolling Stone. Henry Kissinger, war criminal beloved by America's ruling
Yo.
class, finally dies. That's their headline. The Rolling
Mm.
Stone. Henry Kissinger, war criminal beloved by America's ruling class, finally dies. I don't know if you have any clicks left, but I'll send you this article.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the chat, and you could try to read along
Yeah,
and see.
yeah.
See if you,
I am intrigued.
all right. So the infamy of Nixon's foreign policy architect sits
Mm,
eternally beside that of history's worst mass murderers. A deeper shame attaches to the country that celebrates him.
mm-hmm.
You talk about Henry Kissinger's dating life. This person, do you not? Did you forget? Did you forget what this man has wrought upon the world? He died on Wednesday. This was like last Wednesday at his home in Connecticut. His consulting firm said in a statement, the notorious war criminal was 100 years old. This is in the article. They're just straight up just calling him notorious war criminal.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
See that?
The evidence is completely before everyone. So there's no way you should be able to mince words about this dude's like life and legacy. And measuring purely by confirmed kills, the worst mass murderer ever executed by the United States was the white supremacist terrorist Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
We're going somewhere here, right? We're going somewhere here with it. McVeigh, on April 19, 1995, McVeigh detonated a massive bomb at the Mira Federal Building in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City
Oklahoma
bombing,
City
you may
bomber.
remember,
Yep.
right? That killed 168 people, including 19 children. The government killed McVeigh by lethal injection in June 2001. This was something that happened in 1995, right? They killed him in 2001. Whatever hesitation the state execution provokes, even over a man such as McVeigh, necessary questions about the legitimacy of killing even an unrepentant soldier of white supremacy. His death provided a measure of closure to the mother of one of the victims. And she says it's a period at the end of a sentence. This is Kathleen Trinner, right? Whose 4-year-old McVeigh killed. McVeigh, who is in his own psychotic way thought he was saving America, never remotely killed on the scale of Kissinger, the worst revered American grand strategist of the second half of the 20th century. It is estimated that Kissinger is responsible. So you remember the whole Wagner Group thing? There was this guy that was released with, what was he called? The messenger of death or something like that.
Yeah, he was so wild. Yeah, he was crazy.
The war god or something like that. And
I need to look
we released him from prison. I forgot this dude's name.
Yeah.
But Henry Kissinger is responsible. Like, he didn't put hands on nobody, but he was in position to call certain shots and make certain moves for maybe 3 to 4 million deaths. 3 to 4 million deaths. There's a story about how to save fuel on some of their flights. He ordered these fighter pilots to just dump some of their bombs over Cambodia. Just dump them to save fuel, to lighten the weight of your aircraft.
Yeah.
Dump them over Cambodia.
Yeah.
Cambodia ain't do shit. Cambodia, just like, what the fuck? And just bombs just dropping on Cambodia just to save fuel. A 3 to 4 million deaths on this dude hand. You talking about his fucking dating life. You talking about there was a complicated history. You talking about how he was well revered by his peers who are generals and 5-star admirals.
But he got a Nobel Peace Prize.
Went to him for there was people that got the Nobel Peace Prize that same year. That walked away. There's like, no, you give it to this guy.
Yeah.
At the same time, no, I'm not gonna be forever linked getting Nobel Peace
Prize. It was
Prize
highly controversial when he got it too, for sure. Yeah.
Nobel Peace Prize. This is who we're giving the Nobel
hotly debated
to.
Deaths
on his head. You know who didn't? You know who else didn't mince words? Was Anthony Bourdain. Well-loved Anthony Bourdain, who passed away. Anthony Bourdain. And
I like Anthony Bourdain.
Right. Scathing Henry Kissinger remarks resurfaced after foreign policy figure's death. So Anthony Bourdain, he didn't mince words. Like I said, this was, of course, Anthony Bourdain.
He was an excellent reporter.
Passed away.
I liked Anthony
excellent
Bourdain.
Reporter. We loved, like, everybody liked him.
Yeah.
I think he died of a drug overdose.
Yeah.
And he had depression. Like he
was depressed. Yeah, they said I heard that. Yeah.
He says Henry Kissinger walks into a bar. Would it displease you if I walked over and punched Henry Kissinger in the face?
I remember that. Actually, I remember when he said that. That's funny.
Bourdain once asked guests appearing on an episode of Parts Unknown.
Yeah. I literally watched it when that. I think I was watching the episode of that, and I heard him say that, and I was just like, "Dang, he kind of got smoked for this guy."
That boy got smoked for that because like the late chef's scathing remarks about the foreign policy figure
I remember that
have resurfaced in the wake of Kissinger's death, and they're being shared far and wide across the internet. Kissinger again died on Wednesday at the age of 100. God damn it, the good die young.
It'd be the worst if you be living the longest, don't they?
Oh my goodness, Bourdain.
But you know what people say about that. Just so
Bourdain ain't lived to see 100.
Yeah, he did it. But this is the thing. But what people say about that as well. They were like, yeah, you'll see that quite a bit where you see like it's like the worst people who live the longest, but it'd be that slow death that'd be the worst. That's what you hear people say. But I'm like, I hear that, man.
This dude was last
sometimes I'd be like,
advising
off with their head. That's how I be feeling.
Get that dude out of there, dog. Like we can see in real time they didn't want to get the Nobel Prize with him.
Yeah,
And all the way to the point where Anthony Bourdain is calling that nigga a get momo and says sons out and all that stuff.
Yeah, for
You
real.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, I was supposed to win all this stuff like anyway, so in Bourdain's 2001 memoir, by the way, Bourdain traveled in over 80 countries over the course of his career as a celebrity chef and worldly television personality. He spent time in Southeast Asia, including in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. And his shows dive deep into the culture and the geopolitics that defined a place's past and present. In these countries, he illuminated the dark legacy of the Vietnam War. In Bourdain's 2001 memoir, A Cook's Tour, Global Adventures in Extreme Cuisines, he wrote, Okay, so once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never stop wanting to beat Henry Kissinger to death with your bare hands. Anthony Bourdain made sure he wrote this in a book so y'all can read it, and he stand on that. Printed it, and it's going. And as long as that book exists, you know, he Anthony Bourdain is in the afterlife right now, tying his hair back. Oh, I was waiting for your ass.
For real.
Henry Kissinger coming around. Is that Anthony Bourdain? Hey, I read your book. Are we good now? Like he gonna shoot him a fade. Like from
I need these ones. I need these ones.
I need 5 minutes.
Yeah.